Grassroot Communities has developed lots of different community-led projects over the last 3 years based on the wants and needs of communities. Now we've seen that these projects have been successful, we've piloted them. For me, after getting a couple of opportunities more recently, which is never on my radar, the likes of the fellowship from Bristol University and South Bristol Community Consultant, basically just being in front of people from, I don't know, like decision makers in the city, which is new to me, and it was pretty obvious that a lot of the opportunities that are there in the city, they're just a number of steps away from the reality of young people from South Bristol actually engaging in it. So the thing for me, after doing a lot of these piloted projects and seeing how successful they were, they naturally knitted together to produce this year-long course called Grassroot Activators Programme. It's got lots of different modules in it, but basically provides enough kind of experience to support those young people on their journeys into adulthood, whether that means into getting employment, whether that means into volunteering experiences, whether that means going into education, all these different things. It provides opportunities, and to be in a position where they're going to grasp those opportunities, not suddenly like hearing about an amazing opportunity in the city, which is so far away from a kid that has only ever said he wants to be a scaffolder and has never gone, to school after year 8 or year 9. Nothing wrong with being a scaffolder, but you can't all be a scaffolder. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's an element of, and when they were 8 or 7, did they dream of that? We all dreamt of something, like whether we want to admit it or we could admit it in front of our peers. So this course is hopefully those stepping stones. Through the course, modules like youth work, modules like leadership, modules like community development, and then they go off and they do a social action project within the community. Then there's other modules like social enterprise, work placements, and then they go off and do a social enterprise in their community. Then there's the nature-based stuff, so the things like the nature connection, which is the bushcraft, and then we go off on a weekend adventure. We have to survive in the wild with nothing else other than those skills. They do horticulture modules. They do, I can't remember what the other
Well, let's take you back a minute.
Can I just finish that, because it fits in.
Sorry.
They do all these modules, and then they go off and they do an environmental social action project in their community. The point being, they're learning all these skills that's going to support them, their community, people, and planet. They're going to fall in love with those different things. They're going to get that fuzzy feeling inside, which is why I do this, and anyone else that ever does any of this work does it as well. Not money. However, I'm getting paid more now than I ever have been, which is, whatever. And they get that it cascades that impact. So they're going into communities and then they're delivering these things that are based on the wants and needs of their community, because they're consulting with local people, and then the impact ripples and ripples. And if you're looking for the big thing as well in lots of kind of more marginalised communities, raising aspirations, where are the role models? Do you know what I mean? Where are the opportunities? This provides that. I mean, I said to you before about the mentoring that goes alongside the programme with people from business, people from youth work and community work and nature-based organisations, and education. You'd have 3 mentors from those different categories throughout the year. No matter what your background or whatever you didn't do at school or did do at school, or what your aspirations were, you'd build a proper relationship with those people throughout that year. You would get an opportunity from it, because they'd see what you've done and see what you're capable of. And even though if you were to come to an interview with one of these amazing opportunities in town a year ago, but you probably wouldn't have gone there anyway because it's a town, and you wouldn't have heard about it because who would tell you? Because there's not that many services anymore to know about it and to tell you. But even if they did, you probably would have struggled to make eye contact. You probably wouldn't have turned up because you thought there's no way they'd pick you. Do you know what I mean? There's just so many things that go around it. If I can do anything, this feels like the thing that brings it all together and will hopefully generate the community leaders of tomorrow that will believe in the power of nature, will believe in the power of people, and will be motivated to do it. And they have a solid foundation to do that. Now, they'll go off and hopefully, they might go off and they might work in different professions and maybe do some kind of volunteering or do some kind of sessional work within youth community, nature-based stuff. But either way, it will have an impact. And I think that a lot of the other organisations in the city that do similar kind of work to Grassroot Communities, they get localised young people that have got a solid foundation in this stuff to be their workforce of tomorrow, and it's just going to help everyone. Hopefully it happens. It needs funding. So, yeah, that's where we're at.